in Bahrain Comic-Con 2024. So let's do this again, ladies and gentlemen. Any fans of Star Wars? He's right there, he is ready to go. We need to go with more hype, with more tension. Let's go one more time. Star Wars fans, make some noise! Getting on stage right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only who came in with the attitude and the talent of C3PO. Let's hear it for Chris Bartlett!
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I am having the time of my life in Bahrain. And thank you so much for coming to the panel. I think we'll have a lot of fun stories to share with you today.
We sure will. Well, let's do one more time. Let's hear it for Chris, everybody! He's in the house. All right, and now we're gonna go to the world, to the rulers themselves in One Piece. Any One Piece fans over here? Oh, you know this guy is gonna get on stage. Super amazing, talented, a good brother and a friend, and he loves the Middle East. Well, mostly, he really loves Bahrain, and he even has his own Bahraini name. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the one who comes in as Mihawk from One Piece. Let's hear it for Steven! Two legends in one place. Let's do it one more time for Chris and Steven, everybody! As for Steven, do you remember your Bahraini name? Faisal, yes! But some lovely ladies, I should pass by and give you another name?
Oh, I know what it means, but it was short as well, right?
So, they called him Leh. So guys, what do you feel better? Faisal or Leh? Let me see. Faisal or Leh? It's okay. Let's do a voting system here. Faisal, Leh. For whatever reason, when it comes to Leh, the girls are making some noise. Faisal or the guys? One more time. Faisal, Leh. Faisal it is. But to them, you're Leh. Okay. And Chris, don't worry, we're going to give you a Bahraini name before you leave.
Oh, really? I would love it. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, second day in Bahrain. How do you guys feel about it? Chris?
Oh, like I said, I'm having a great time. Yesterday, I went pod racing.
Pod racing in Bahrain?
Yeah, did you hear the pod racers go by?
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah, I went, oh my gosh, I'd never gone that fast before on the ground. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. I heard you've been racing today, Steve. Actually, you came here with a car?
I literally got out of the car and came up here. I too have never been that fast.
How fast were you on?
250.
250?
Yeah.
What car was it?
A fast one.
Let's go.
And it was an F4, I think, right? Yeah, F4. Yeah. That was a wild experience.
Swear to God, I've been here for the last 7 years. Never had a chance to do that. But hey, maybe after this. We're taking for a ride.
It's worth it.
Let's go with it. Let's go. Amazing.
But everyone's been so warm and so welcoming, and this is my first time not only to Bahrain, but to this part of the world. And I was not prepared for how warm and loving everybody's been. So thank you.
That being said, so we're not only with Chris here, we are actually with C3PO. So what would he say right now, being in Bahrain, you know?
3PO say, well, he has been to a sandy planet, you know, but he didn't like that very much. He might say, hey, Bahrain, it's a wonderful place. Nothing like that desolate place of Tatooine. Also, I understand that oil baths feel so good.
Oil baths! Sure, the joints and all of that, yeah, that sounds real good.
He would love it.
I'm sure he would. But not only that, what would Mihawk say about Bahrain?
And then you'd be, why does everyone keep waking me for my naps?
Oh God, that's crazy. Mihawk and 3PO, everybody, next one! It must feel surreal traveling the world and everybody recognizing you for the amazing talent you guys bring forth again. So, as 3PO and as Mihawk, when you guys were doing the role, as a kid, as a living, have you ever thought that, one day I'm gonna go to Bahrain and just have a talk right here and just be recognized for my work, or we just never felt or even thought this would actually happen?
No, never imagined coming this far. I lived in Los Angeles, in California, and I never imagined I would be invited to such a great place, and so far, from home. But I really been made to feel at home here.
Beautiful.
Well, for me, coming from South Africa, my country fits inside Texas, and then there's still more of Texas.
All right.
So we're very small, and our industry is not a...
That was your rhyme? Yeah?
Someone stole my car. So I never in a million years dreamed that I would be able to travel the world because of a show I did ever. I just wanted to have fun while I was shooting something, and then it all just went crazy, and now I'm having even more fun.
Amazing. Riding cars in the middle of the Middle East.
Being out there, this is an exception. This never happens.
Crazy nights and Bahraini names, what's that about? Let's go. So, going back to your careers right now. So, it seems like a lot of people will maybe start as acting, but you have a different exception. Somehow you fit cosplay and acting at the same time, reaching to these beautiful levels. So how did you start? How did you land a gig of 3PO?
As a kid, I always wanted to be an actor or be in Star Wars specifically.
Right.
But I never, I dreamed of that, but I never imagined it would actually happen. So as an adult, I'm a nerd, and so I would build costumes, just because that was kind of the closest I would get, I felt, to being an actor. And I was just doing it because I loved it. It's just a lot of fun. I see costumes out here, and I love that you brought your costumes and brought your characters, because that is, in building costumes, I found the costume needs a character, a person inside to make it a living character. So I was just going to conventions, and this is 20 years ago, in costumes that I built.
For 20 years, we go to Comic-Cons?
No, I didn't go to Comic-Cons for 20 years. 20 years ago, I started building costumes and going to Comic-Cons. And Lucasfilm saw a video of me performing.
Yeah.
It was just a clip somebody had uploaded, and I get this email from Lucasfilm that said, we would like you to come in for an audition.
Crazy.
And, again, that was the dream, but I never imagined it would happen. I was just doing stuff that I liked doing for fun, because it was the closest I could get to be an actor. And when they invited me to Lucasfilm, they both meet together in the C-3PO costume, turn on a microphone and flip on the lights, and I said, my goodness, why hello, I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations. This is my counterpart, R2-D2. I'm fluent in over 6 million, and they're like, oh, okay, that's enough. They're like, we're going to send you to Australia, and we'll see how it goes. So now it's been, I'm in my 19th year playing C-3PO for Lucasfilm.
19th year! Ladies and gentlemen, here for Chris! Amazing.
But then that's led to other roles on other shows. And some, sci-fi shows, and also horror. So I got to do the thing that I, was dreaming of doing. My dad told me one time, he said, do what you love doing, because you will enjoy going to work. You're good at something, do that. don't do something because you think that's what you should do. Do what you love to do. So.
That's a great advice. Good shout out to that. Amazing, beautiful advice. And here we are right now in Bahrain talking about it. Beautiful. I love that. I love that. What a story. And now from 3PO to Mihawk. You know, you've been cosplaying as well, you know, as Mihawk. Right?
No, I don't cosplay. I appreciate it because I see how much work goes into it, and I have a lot of friends that we actually share that are cosplayers. It's an incredible.
And they're just teasing you, man. I know.
Yeah, it really is an incredible aspect. What would you call it?
Well, yeah.
Practice. I don't know. But no, I don't have the confidence to cosplay.
Wow.
I'm very introverted. This is terrifying for me.
It really doesn't.
What was the question?
The question would be the same thing we would always ask in every country. Mihawk, how did that happen?
So I work as a casting director in South Africa, and there's only like maybe 15 of us. Well, there's probably more, but at the main studios. And usually I'll get an email from an agent because they represent someone else named Steven someone. But my email comes up first, and they sometimes, don't check. So I get all these auditions from agents for someone else, and I always go, hey, just letting you know that you sent it to the wrong Steven, just making sure he gets his audition, and I don't want him to get a fight and have to know like 4 pages of dialogue in an hour. So that's what happened. I got an email from my first ever acting agent like 14 years ago, and she and I said the same thing. I said, no, not for me. Make sure it goes to the right person. And then I went on about my day. And later in the afternoon, I was just going through the unopened emails when I knew the responses were. I saw she had responded, and I thought it would just be a thank you. And she was like, no, it's for you.
Nah, that's not
the other casting director can't get hold of you. Like, that's weird. We all have each other's numbers. It was a different city as well. So I live in Pretoria, and this was shooting in Cape Town. And I didn't know they were casting One Piece. And so I called the casting director and I said, what is this about? Because they called it Project Panda to hide the name. My Mihawk wasn't Mihawk, it was Videl. So I thought it was Dragon Ball Z, and I panicked.
Okay, whoa.
The first one didn't do too well. Anyway, yeah, so she was like, trust me, just do the audition. They haven't found the person. I can't give you any information. Okay. And all it said was, the description of the character was, his eyes are really noticeable and he's good with swords. And I was like, alright, that's not much to go on.
Pretty much.
Got the dialogue, learned that, and then my wife, who directs me in all my auditions, she gives me a different perspective, which makes it more interesting. She's like, hey, let's put eyeliner on and make your eyes pop. I was like, whatever, yeah, let's do it. And I used a fishing rod as my sword. I watched it the other day, it's so bad.
Is it online?
No. When we first met, I didn't have it, and then I found it, and that is never getting released to the market.
Come on, it can be an NFT, baby.
No, I don't know if I'm also allowed to do it. I think Netflix owns the rights to it. I don't know. Anyway, but so I did the audition, and the next day I got a phone call saying the director, Mark Jobs, would like to do a callback in a couple of hours. Can you do it? I was like, yeah. And I did it, and we put the eyeliner back on, and I remember seeing him in the screen going closer, because it was like a self-tape audition, like online virtual audition. And he kept going closer and closer into the screen, and at the end of it, he was like, I can't stop looking at your eyes. My wife's cracking up in the background. He thinks it's me. No, it's eyeliner. And then a week later, they called me and they're like, cool, you got the part. And I was like, what is it? And they're like, oh yeah, it's One Piece. And I was like, oh, should have started with that.
And then
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Thank you, eyeliners. Let's go. I mean, I got a lot of questions here, but I will leave it to the audience right now to see what questions do you have, whether it's Star Wars or One Piece. If you have a question, please line up right here in the middle so we can have our questions, whether you want to ask Steven or you want to ask Chris when it comes to Star Wars. So, starting with the first question. You have a question? Let's go.
Yes.
How was it in the costume when you were in Star Wars?
How is it in the costume when I'm in Star Wars?
Okay.
Well, it is less comfortable than what you're wearing now.
That's for sure.
It is, but I do have almost full range of motion. So the movement I do is a performance. If you go to my table, I have the top half of the suit that I wear. You saw it, yeah. And you can see the little, well, you can see up here, the little black holes in the middle of the eyes is all that I can see from. And they're like drinking straws. So, you know, you just get used to it. You don't want to look inside because that can be really disorienting. So I just focus on what's outside. And usually, I'm seeing cool stuff like stormtroopers or Jawas or R2, you know, pod racers. Yeah, so that's I can't sit down. So, but that's I can't do stairs. Also can't go to the bathroom. Anyway, there's a couple limitations.
That sounds like so much fun.
Right.
If you need to take a break, you know, or a number 1 or 2, what's going to happen there? Like you have to take it off, or it's like get it off?
Now, like Dad says, before you go on a road trip, you go before you go.
Right. Amazing. Good question. Good question. Thank you very much. Second, you want to ask a question? Let's go.
Steven, when you were the voice actor in One Piece, did your voice crack up?
Either he is mixing between you and the voice actor, you do know he's Mihawk, right? He's Mihawk, the actual Mihawk. He's not the voice, he's the actor of Mihawk. So, your question is?
Oh, did I get tired? I mean, physically, yeah. I gotta wave around a big sword all day. I got something similar to you because my contact lenses are bigger than the usual ones, and I can only see through that pinhole. So I can only concentrate on it. If I'm looking here, I can't see him at all. So yeah, you're just trying to focus. But yeah, I mean, I get tired, but I'll never get tired of it.
Let's go. Next question. Question to you, Steven.
How many tries did it took for you to make the scene?
Ooh, how many tries it took you for a certain scene in One Piece? Like if there's one scene, let's say with Mackenyu, how many times did you have to retake that?
Wow, it took us, I think it took us 3 days.
3 days.
So all day doing the same thing, which I don't mind because I'm playing with a sword, and I'm in wires and, you know, doing stunt stuff. So yeah, 3 days essentially. Some of them take like real quick. I try to do stuff the first time right. But yeah, that because there were so many different technical aspects in that scene, we had to take a really long time to get it right.
All right, 3 days. Thank you so much for the question. A question for Chris.
Yes.
Does it take a long time to get a scene right?
A long time to what?
To get a scene right.
To get a scene right. Well, like this gentleman said over here, we try to do it right the first time. But what the director also wants to see is, he kind of wants to see a variety of choices, a variety of ideas. So I might do it 4 or 5 or 6 different ways. You might say a line differently or do a motion differently. So I would say we love doing it, you know. We don't take, as actors, we don't take it personal when the director says go again. You know, we're like, okay, we'll have another chance to, you know, try do something else. So I think the hardest thing to do over and over is stunts, and I do all my own stunts in the costumes. Like if you know, I played a bounty hunter named One Jack in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I had to get shot, and I had to fall on the hard ground like all morning. So I was like, you know, slam against the wall, fall on the ground, slam against the wall, fall on the ground. What makes things like that better is when you're laying on the ground and they take the head off, and Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is standing over you and says, "Chris, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yes." So yeah, that's so sometimes it takes more time than others.
All right, good question. Thank you very much. Question to you, Steven.
What was your favorite line in One Piece and why?
My favorite line in One Piece is, it's a very simple one. Is the scene where Mackenyu or Zoro meets Mihawk for the first time, and he looks up at me and he goes, "Oh, I've been following your career for years," and there's a point where I just look over to him and I just go, "Thank you," and it's just super sassy and like, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel like, I'm power.
Yeah, with eyeliners, man, let's go. Good one, all right. Question to you, Chris.
Yes.
This is like a Star Wars nerd to a Star Wars nerd. What is your favorite line ever said in Star Wars, in general?
My favorite line as 3PO?
Just in general, anywhere.
Oh. As characters I've played?
No, any character.
Oh, any character of any movie in history. Wow. Well, let's see. I'll never. Yes. Thank you. No. My favorite line is one that I did for C-3PO one time. The very first time, it was right after Disney purchased Lucasfilm. And C-3PO and R2-D2 appear on the Disney Channel on this show called Ant Farm. And C-3PO comes out and he meets these teenagers who are trying to break into Skywalker Ranch, which is George Lucas's house. And C-3PO says, "I am fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, including street slang. So step off, fool." Anyway, silly. But it was funny.
Awesome, awesome. Next question.
Steve, who was the most energetic one from the cast of One Piece?
Who was the most energetic? Inaki. All the time, Inaki who plays Inaki B. Luffy. What you see on screen is real life. All the time. 24/7, he's just bouncy. Yeah, he's super energetic.
Thank you. Next question.
Steven, who do you think was the most charismatic character in One Piece?
Charismatic? The most rich? Me.
All of it yourself.
I give it a Zoro.
All right, thank you. Next question.
So when you had that scene when you were fighting Zoro in One Piece,
I vaguely
how long
remember.
did that take you?
Oh, what?
It's my favorite thing.
So, as acting or on set? Okay. So when you were actually doing the fight scene against Mackenyu, you know, as Zoro, how was that feeling going on? Like, how hard was it to actually go against an actual sword?
Yeah, I was about to say, Mackenyu has been training with swords since he was, like, before he could walk.
God.
So it was, I don't want to say terrifying, just daunting at first. But then, you know, you realize McKenna knew as well that he had to look worse than me. So, you know, we worked really well together. We made a camaraderie before, you know, we spent a lot of time together. So, when you're in the outfit, it's very empowering. It's like when you put on a suit, your back straightens. So it's the same thing with the outfit. When you get the sword, you feel like you can do anything. But yeah, so it became very empowering.
Alright, good one. Apparently we're not going to have a question, we're going to have a gift.
Sure. Is it a hair tie? I need it for my hair, so that's perfect. That's
All right.
perfect. I need to tie my hair up. So.
Look at that, yeah, for the car riding and all of that. You need that, right? Alright, Chris, please. Center stage. Bahrain, we're going to give Chris a Bahraini name before he leaves. As 3PO or as Chris, whatever you feel like. So, give me Bahraini names. Jocelyn, Khalid, give me a third name. Rayan. Okay. So it's either Rayan, Jocelyn, or Khalid. And you guys gonna be voting here by, you know, the louder your voice is gonna get, the name is gonna go to the passport control when he leaves Bahrain. So, is it Rayan? Only 5, good. Jocelyn? Khalid! Alright.
Okay.
Let's just do for the last two. Jocelyn? You gotta give me the name. Khalid! Can you do it Khalid with a kha? Oh, good. Khalid.
Lid.
Let's put it together.
Khalid.
Khalid! Would 3PO like his new name? Khalid?
Khalid.
Yeah?
Would he like his new name? There'd probably be, he'd probably turn it into like letters and numbers.
Yeah.
You know, because he speaks a binary language,
Yeah.
like most of operators. Yeah, no, Khalid, he would, yes, I am Khalid, human cyborg relations.
Amazing! Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for the amazing talent here at Bahrain Comic-Con. Let's hear it for Khalid Bartlett and NETFKIX. You are amazing talent for the world of Star Wars and One Piece. One more time, here, ladies and gentlemen, for Stephen Lord and Chris Bartlett. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are not done yet.